I'll just give a little revisit of this Motorola here that we got during a blustery winter day, with the iron melt in the top of the finish. The radio and record storage here. This was the one with the mouse house turntable, as I shown in another video. Here's the wood, and maybe we'll let it sit out here in the sun and let the UV sunlight kind of oh, what's the word I'm looking for there? The UV kills the germs and whatnot, eradicates it. Or so we've never really had a close look at this, even on the inside. But I have learned that it does have an FM tape input, FM tube front end, and a solid state amplifier, and it's an SD210A. So I have the covers off, I have the legs separated, and maybe we'll get to this, clean this up, and get to this one of these days. And while we're at it, this Hammond organ, I will plug it in and try it. It's missing a few keys. The cord is frayed. This is a Hammond organ E133, and I may want to just hear. Someone says you got to at least hear how it sounds. We may do that, but I will keep. If it is an EOL, I'll keep the tone generator, which is run by this motor here, which spins, and these are all the different notes. I believe these are all 12AX7s here, and the capacitors here that are tuned to each frequency. And that's all I know. The cord is frayed. I'd like to plug it in and try it. We'll bring it up slowly in another video. And of course, we still have this Admiral from old 64 Goats Hall here. We plugged it in and it smoked, and these were known for having bad flyback. So I may do this as a learning experience, just to we don't have the back for this either, so I may just want to bench test it and see what we come up with, and determine if in fact the flyback is bad. That's all I want to do. The CRT is weak, and I have no desire for a 19-inch Admiral, but we'll see if we can, if the back is available for it. That would be the only thing saving this. And lastly is this 7-inch Sentinel with the picture tube chassis, it calls it, and the RF tuner assembly here. We get this thing out of the cabinet real soon. Okay, there are other projects I'm supposed to be working on, but I'm more and more intrigued by this the mouse house Motorola, we'll call it. This thing has 5 speakers on each channel. Solid state amplifier. A dial light with phonograph compartment. There is more mouse house. I'll get to that in a minute. There's 2 12-inch drivers that come through base ports here, slots in the front of the cabinet. And the cabinet says cabinet by Drexel. Okay, and the radio has separate tuning for both AM and FM, and it's vernier tuning. It's quite nice. So we'll get the compressed air out here. We're going to blow this out. Solid state chassis, 3 transistors, which is kind of odd. I also have the original owner's manual, I think the receipt, and the includes the schematic. But down here below the record compartment is another mouse house, and that is where the radio is. So we'll remove it. We have our rubber gloves and whatnot. We're outside. We'll let the sun irradiate this a little bit, and hopefully it hasn't done any staining or damage to that tuner, because the tuner is quite nice. Okay, we'll have one more quick look at the tuner here. So they're in this area. The FM dial tunes as such. So we'll close the plates on 88. AM is over here, and it really glides nice. Speaker selector, loudness, balance, push stereo, pull mono, tube indicator, and FM stereo monitor. I'm so glad this doesn't, maybe this still does have that three channel audio that Motorola used. Those are the two screws we have to remove to get a look at the tuner. I may take the tuner out also. Yeah, this cabinet will need to be completely washed. Everything removed and completely washed. Well, it was pretty disgusting in there, and it still is. Let's take a good look around the chassis. There are the other three transistors. So it is a center base. Three transistors. We have one wire that's not attached there. I don't know what that's about. And choo choo choo, one golden voice. I'm afraid to look at this side of the speakers over here. To remove the chassis here, it says remove these two wing nuts. So I think may try and lift it out of the chassis. And this is the preamp here. I'm guessing. This says something about the preamp. It says remove preamp with controls. You're removing 3 screws. I don't know where those 3 screws are, but let's get this chassis out of here. Okay, here we are with the chassis removed. We have 2 of the golden voices are pretty much eaten up. Yeah. Any event, we have the chassis out. Now I understand what they mean about the preamp. I'm going to record this so for future reference for myself. This is the tape out that goes to the back panel. And this is obviously the phono. Not sure, but yes, that is the phonograph input right here. So right is black, left was white. And this is the output to the amplifier. Okay, so this is our complete AM FM radio preamp mouse house chassis. We'll store this indoors. So the preamp is separate from the radio. Okay, so once again I'll give you one look here. It's treble, bass, balance, pull mono, push stereo, loudness, tape phono radio, speaker internal, external, and both. And we're on the back here. We flip it around. Okay, FM stereo power receptacle. So this must be the FM stereo section here. We have Motorola tubes. Made in Japan. And one transistor there. So we'll get the, this is it's dated 5 of 64. HS1247. I think there's a number after that. So yes, there's some corrosion due to urine, most likely. All in all, I would just take a look at the dial in here. Of course, the dial string has been eaten on one of them. Eaten or broken. And that's the FM section, so separate tuning. AM. I'll close those plates. That's where our antenna terminals were. Alright, so there you have it. That's the Motorola Mouse House 1964 radio chassis. Okay, the amplifier will be taken out at a later date as it's needed to run the radio. And this whole cabinet, if we decide to keep this, will be completely stripped and sanitized. Okay, I know I keep saying one more. Now we have to decide, is this really worth... I know it's far from a Lloyd's AM/FM 8-track, but a little bit of work. It could be made to sing again. It's a little rough shape, though. One more. Look at that tuner in there. Not a total loss, but not a cream puff at this point. There you have it, the 1965, well, manufactured in 64, high-end Motorola. We'll let it, as it irradiates in the sun a little more, this will get the whole treatment of power wash, dishwasher, oh, you name it. Bay at the car wash, steam bath. Who knows? Thanks for watching.
Young as you feel. Saturday Night Bandstand with Brian Para.